might still have the strength to escape her menacing grip.
Non-stop rock talk with Tyson Bryden. Welcome to Non-stop rock talk. I'm your host, Tyson Bryden. Today, I'm happy to welcome musician Zach Bair. Zach, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Nice to be back. How are you?
Well, I'm very well, thank you. I believe, are you in California?
No, I'm in Tennessee, actually.
Oh, you're in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, Tennessee. And it's cold here.
I mean,
probably not
is
as
it?
cold as it is there. Yeah, it's cold.
Oh man, this is like up here has been, I don't remember a December as cold and as much snow probably since I was a kid, to be honest with you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
you.
been no, exactly. I know in Nashville you guys get a little bit of snow sometimes, and
I'll pass on that.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No, we're deep in it. There's probably a foot of snow, I think, roughly. Yeah,
love it.
And
love it, man.
And yeah, so you're good where you are.
Yeah, we don't have any snow right now. It's colder than I like it. It's it got down to like 15 degrees yesterday, which was highly unusual. And I've been spending a lot of time in Florida, so I came back from 75 degree weather to 15 degree weather, and it was not pleasant.
Oh, wow. My wife and I were in Nashville last November.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a few times, but we just came. She hadn't been before. So, I mean, I love the city.
It's a good town. Yeah.
And I love the vibe. We kind of we did Broadway.
Okay.
One night. And she kind of said, she's like, you know what? This isn't really my scene. So we ended up at a place called the Listening Room the next day, which was amazing.
Yeah. That's a nice place. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Very
it was
cool
so
place.
Great. And, like a bunch of songwriters who wrote like hits for people, and they told their story. And that to me was...
That's cool.
Yeah, that was kind of the highlight of the trip. And we went to the Titans game on Sunday too. But the highlight of the trip was that Listening Room, because you got a different vantage point of, it was nice to hear these stories of these guys, how they wrote these songs. And
pretty cool.
Yeah. And the one guy, I think it was an Eli Young Band song he had written. And after the fact, you listen to the words and you're like, oh, I totally get it now. Even if you knew the song, you might not have known the whole premise of the whole writing. And then you listen to the words and it actually told a story. So it was a great experience.
Yeah, we actually did. The company that I ran for quite a few years, we had partnered with a gentleman by the name of Kingsley. I'm trying to remember his first name. He was a very, very famous, he passed away a couple of years ago, but very famous country radio personality. And he had a country top 40 countdown for like 30 or 40 years. I mean, he's just around forever. And he did a really cool thing in Nashville, a country radio seminar called Acoustic Alley that sounds very similar to what you're talking about. And the writers of some of these major songs that these major artists did, the writers would come in and play them and sing them and tell the story about how they wrote the song. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was kind of the premise, the same thing. Yeah. And it was probably like 2-3 hours. But,
nice.
But we got a lot out of it because, I mean, as fans of music, and I mean, I'm a musician myself, but it was more of a human element than going to Broadway. And I don't mean to insult Broadway because I know it gets a lot of traction
well, yeah, I mean, it's a tourist area,
Yeah.
And I mean, there's other areas in Nashville that really, I like South Broadway, it's much less touristy and, more kind of eclectic and whatnot. But, I mean, Broadway's fun for like once, maybe a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't...
Bars, no offense to the bars, but they're all the same. I mean, they have different names on them, but they're all the same.
Yeah, they are all the same. And I mean, it's funny how from the first time I was there, which was probably like 15 years ago to now, it's changed so much.
Big time. Yeah, it's huge. Just incredible.
All these new bars, and I mean, Bon Jovi's bar is there, and which I thought was cool. And I heard he's selling it actually. I heard a rumor that he might be selling it.
What I heard is they're selling the building, but they're not selling the bar. I'm not really sure how that works, but whatever,
Yeah, okay.
And I heard, who's the other guy? Jelly Roll. That building's being sold too.
Oh,
he's got a bar there as well.
Okay. I didn't see the Jelly Roll place, I don't think.
So I think this opened in the last year, maybe.
Okay. Yeah,
it's been pretty recent.
We were there last November, so Okay, that's cool. Now let's talk about your music.
Okay.
Your latest video single for, hopefully I pronounce this right, is Succubus 30. Did I say that right?
Correct. Yes, Succubus. That is correct.
I mean, even looking at that title, I thought, hey, I wonder what that is. And I'll get to that because I did look it up and I was quite surprised by what it actually means. So
Right.
But maybe you can tell me a bit about, the video, because the video looks amazing.
Thank you very much.
And the
Thank
song
you.
is great.
So, well, I'll start with the song, I guess. I actually wrote that song 30 years ago, just thus the name Succubus 30, and kind of recorded it. I wouldn't call it a demo, but it never got really released. But I just, been able to afford to go into a studio and record stuff, and we laid Succubus down in a very famous studio in Houston called Sugar Hill Studios. Everybody from the Rolling Stones has recorded there, Jimi Hendrix, and you name it. It's really super famous. I didn't know what I was doing. And despite the fact that I didn't know what I was doing, the track came out okay. But flash forward to now, I'm like, it's been 30 years and, AI is really, changing the dynamic on what you can do. Yeah. So a long time ago, I'd called Sugar Hill Studios and say, hey, can you send me my masters? And they're like, well, that was 30 years ago. I have no idea where those are. I'm like, oh, man, you're kidding me. So I couldn't find the masters. So in the last probably year or two, there have been some really incredible tools online, and other software that will actually separate all the stems, from a recording like that.
Really?
So I was able to go back through, separate the stems, and really the two main things I wanted to keep were the drum track and the guitar track, because the lead guitar track, because those individuals sadly passed away a long time ago, and there's no way I would have been able to re-record those. So I extracted all that, I slowed the song down a little bit, and then re-recorded all the other tracks, in more of a modern, format, I guess if you want to call it that, and mastered it and all that kind of stuff, but put the original drum track in and put the original lead guitar track in. And I think it came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. And then the video, so that's another interesting AI tool. It's not like you just type something in and all of a sudden this whole thing is created. You have to give it really detailed instructions on what you want. And it's like building scene by scene by scene, angles of the camera angles, what you want the camera to do, what you want the AI person to do. It's all of this stuff is really, really super detailed. And it took quite a while for me to put that together, but I thought it came pretty good too.
Yeah, I had actually thought about that, because in terms of characters and the female characters in it, and so you kind of tell it what you want them to do and what you want them to look like. Almost
exactly what you tell them, exactly what, tell the software what you want it to do, what do you want it to act like, how you want it to behave. And sometimes it gets it right and you have to go back and, you might have to go back and fix a few things. And I went through several iterations of each of those scenes multiple times before it came down to kind of what I wanted. And still it wasn't quite perfect. I actually did a whole nother version that it's not quite as dark. This one's pretty dark, but the other one's not quite as dark. And it has a consistent character all the way through it, that I'll, probably release that one at a future date. But I think for the lyric video, this absolutely, captured the feel of the song, I guess.
Oh, it totally did. I agree with you there, because I love the song and I love the video.
Thank you, brother.
That video it made you want to keep watching, because you're like, this looks so awesome, right?
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and it just and that main character, the female main character, you're like, you want to see what she's going to do next.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely wicked, yeah.
So well done. And
thank you.
The song itself, I do love the mix on it.
Thank you.
That it kind of starts subtly, but then when the electric guitar comes in, it adds another dimension to it, which
kicks in, yeah.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed. I thought that was really cool.
Thank you.
Now, that guitar solo, which you kept, that is a great solo.
Yeah, Richard Rogers. Richard just an amazing guy, and remained my friend many years after I left Houston. And he played in my original band back in the day in the early 90s, and what we called the Four Horsemen, which was really what I would consider the best lineup of my band at the time. And we went by No Control at the time as a band name. But it was, myself and Richard and the drummer that played on that track, and another guy. And then at one point in time, we might have had a fifth member in there as well. But he was just an unbelievably amazing guitar player. He also played in a band called Street Ready back in Houston in the early 90s, and just a real virtuoso. I mean, he could do anything on the guitar and that I couldn't even possibly dream of. So I was really very happy to kind of keep his memory alive by putting that track into this song.
Yeah, and as I was listening to it, and then I listened to it back, I'm like, I was thinking it was a guy from LA, like one of the LA hotshot guitar players. That's what I was trying to pinpoint. I was like, okay, whose style is that? Because, and this is what I'm kind of getting out of it. So it was awesome.
Yeah, he was at that level. I mean, he was just an incredible musician. And like when we played live, it was just unbelievable. I mean, he was just that good. Yeah.
Wow.
But he was a good guy. He'll be missed.
Now, a succubus, and I was going to explain this. When I looked it up, a female demon believed to have sexual intercourse with sleeping men.
Yeah, correct. And basically, a succubus, the way I like to describe it, is a female demon that sucks the life out of its male victims. And, that's I wrote that, I don't think I really had a woman in mind when I wrote that, but there was probably a convergence of a few of them, at the time. So we always dedicate that to, all the men out there that have had a succubus in their life.
So it's metaphorically speaking, as we would say, more or less.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. It has another meaning. So, no, that's cool. I liked the premise of it. And I was going to ask about the 30 thing because I was a little confused about that, but you already alluded to
30
that.
Years. Yeah. I wanted to differentiate it from the original one. The original never made it. Like, we never did anything with it. It just stayed on the original recording, and I'm thankful that happened. So I was able to release a modern version, and, it's a much more hard rock version, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's killer. And it's funny because I went back and I watched, and as we had said, before we started, we had talked previously 2021 in the thick of COVID and everything. So it had been a number of years since, you've released a few things since then. And so I looked up the Great Divide video, which is totally different.
Totally different, yeah.
Totally different, but it's just as capturing as that video, just in a different way.
Beautiful. Thank you, man.
It looks great because I love how the band is playing in a field, but then you get that almost like this. Remember Sweet Child of Mine video where you actually saw the camera crew, and I loved that. So that looked amazing. And now how did they take the aerial shot of that?
That was drone footage. So we had a professional drone camera person come in and, fly the drone and get the shots. And it's kind of an interesting story is because we set up all this equipment and we wanted to shoot it so that when we started, the sun started setting, we would have the lights come on, it'd be all this kind of stuff. And we ended up only getting about 40 minutes of footage because the generator crapped out.
Oh,
so
no way.
We actually put that video together with the only video we were able to capture in 40 minutes, which we went through the song about 3 or 4 times. And luckily it did start to get dark, and we got the sunset kind of in there, And it was also, we shot that in probably the coldest day in November. It was probably 20 degrees when we were shooting that video. It was freezing.
Really?
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold. It was really cold. And every time we, stop for a couple seconds, we'd go by the big spotlights and warm our hands up. But yeah, I was real happy with the way that turned out. And the drone footage, I think, really made it. That, and like you said, seeing the camera stuff, the film crew adds another dimension to it as well.
Yeah, it looks really cool. And that drum track, in the verse especially, those drums just sound amazing. Those snare hits, they sound great. They really, it it creates that build up, right? And like it just makes the song. I mean, sometimes a good drum track will do that, right?
Yeah, and that's I credit my producer on that record, Skid Mills, for really putting the polish on it. Skid's based in Nashville, and some of the bigger artists he's worked with are like Saving Abel and Three Doors Down and Pop Evil and a few other ones. I was very fortunate to slide in when he was not too busy because of COVID, and be able to get that record cut. So he took what I consider to be a good song and turned it into a really great song.
Yeah, and the video. I mean, like, talking about these videos and the songs, the great thing is they both coincide with how, how sometimes you see a video and you're like, okay,
makes no sense.
I don't know if the video really it doesn't make any sense, but both of those videos actually go with what the song is,
exactly.
Right? Which I think is amazing. Now, I just came across this and I didn't realize it. You did a great cover of Collective Soul's "The World I Know."
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was because as I'm like, I clicked on it and I was like, oh, "The World I Know," and I'm just like, okay, and then I'm like, wait a second, this is a Collective Soul song, and immediately I'm like, okay, well, how is the vocal going to sound? Because Ed Roland,
he's so unique.
Initially, right, very unique, and I'm just kind of curious when you actually recorded it. Like, it almost sounds like there's a reverb or an echo, some sort of, in that vocal itself, or maybe it's an EQ thing.
I usually try to just to do a slight amount of doubling on my vocals. That's might be what you're hearing. There's not a lot of effect on it.
No way.
Just a smidgen and maybe just a tiny little bit of reverb. I mean, I know I don't sound anything like Ed Roland, but I wanted to make the song sound as good as I could and really pay homage to how good that band is,
Well, I mean, the thing is, it was, sometimes you hear a cover and you don't think it's believable, but it was very believable. And I think your attack of how you did sing it, nailed it.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I love that song, actually. And, I do too. Like Collective Soul, to me, they're like the riff masters, all the songs they have these cool riffs going on. It's like, that's cool. And Collective Soul is definitely...
They were one of those bands where you'd buy the album and you're always guaranteed to have a great, a single with a great guitar riff.
Yes, exactly.
But then you'd have these other songs that were more melodic or slower songs that were always brilliant.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, I think of the self-titled album. So Gel was, I think that was from the Jerky Boys soundtrack.
I think you're right, yeah.
But that was a killer song. But then you had December.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, which was a hit. And apparently, I think they had the most number one hits in the 90s, if I'm correct.
And they were just such an amazing band. Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate that I know they're still together and they're touring, but it's like a band like that should, you don't hear about them.
No, I think they ought to be a lot bigger than they are still. I mean, there's some bands that are still big, Guns N' Roses and whatnot, and, Foo Fighters and obviously are huge. But I think Collective Soul fits in that category, and they're just such
I agree.
Epic band, and they write good material, and it's good songs. People can relate to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like, there's a lot of different stuff in the 90s, but they were just a rock band, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, rock, not alternative. They're just a good rock band. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I love the Hags from acoustic that you're playing in that video as well.
Thank you, man. I love that guitar, man. I love it.
The finish looks unreal.
It's a beautiful guitar. It's relatively inexpensive, but it plays and sounds great. And as long as it sounds great, I've got some pawn shop guitars that sound great. So
Well, it's funny you say that because 2 years ago I bought a Taylor.
Oh, okay.
And I brought it home. I played it in the store and I loved it. And then I plugged it in, and I didn't like it so much because it's very thin. I even wrote Taylor and said, like, what's going on with these guitars? Like, this thing sounded incredible in the store. It resonated so it felt so good. But then I plugged it in and I couldn't get, like, especially on the high E string, I couldn't get anything out of it. So I have, before that acoustic, I had a Takamine, and I actually dropped it and it has a break in it. And I actually gave that Taylor to my wife. I said, you can have this, and I'm going back to my Takamine.
Well, before I got this guitar, I had 2 different Ovation guitars, and they're not the fat body ones, the slimmer body ones.
The slimmer ones?
And they sounded good, but they still didn't sound as good as this guitar. And, of course, both of those guitars had the same problems that you just mentioned. I dropped one, like my old one was a really cool guitar. It had the snakeskin look on the front of it, And I stepped on that guitar and like fell over and the neck broke and all that stuff. And I still somehow managed to fix that sucker, and continue to play it. And then the second one is, you've probably seen like Melissa Etheridge plays one kind of similar to what I play. It's got a little kind of floral thing on.
On the top around
yeah, and that's a good sounding guitar too. But this one just sounds, it's like you said, it resonates. It resonates and sounds so good, it feels right. So that's become my favorite acoustic, at least.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not going to part with it. I probably can't get it fixed now. It's got a crack right at the bottom.
Oh, wow.
If the strap fell off and it's smashed.
Yep.
And luckily, the wood's come off a little bit, but I still use it, and I still love it.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got my very first electric guitar that I played professionally with as a Washburn, which I still have. And, it was still not a bad guitar. It wasn't that expensive. But, I just beat the hell out of that guitar, and that also fell over, and the neck cracked, and I super glued it back together, and it worked. And, I still play that guitar. It's a great guitar.
I had a Les Paul like that, standard, a 97 standard, and it got dropped, and the headstock broke.
Oh, wow.
I fixed it again, broke again. I think I broke it 3 times, but unfortunately it got stolen.
Oh, no, man. Really? That sucks.
Yeah. So, I've replaced, I have a couple other ones. I have a gold top, and then I can't remember the burst on that one, but it kind of made up for it. But with a guitar, it's something that it becomes part of you, and you always want it back.
Oh yeah. No, back in my youth, when I was poor, I pawned enough guitars where I will never do that again, back when you're poor. But, my guitar that I play now it's a Tremonti PRS. It's kind of my main guitar signature. I love that guitar. And then I've got a backup, which is my Les Paul Studio. But I like the PRS because it kind of plays like a Les Paul, but it weighs like 20 pounds less. It's just not nearly as heavy.
I don't use it a lot. Like, I have them, but I don't use them on every gig. I actually have a Jackson Strat. This like an Adrian Smith from Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden. I'm not a huge Iron Maiden fan, but I love the guitar because for what I'm doing, it works.
Dude, I've got a Charvel Jackson that a friend of mine gave me, a legit, 80s Charvel Jackson, it's a brilliant guitar. It's full on just metal, man. It's a heavy guitar, man. It's really cool.
I love that. My first guitar was a Charvel Model 4.
Really nice, man.
And it's in pieces in my closet. I'm going to rebuild it. I took the finish off of it, and I sanded it down. I just haven't I'm going to put a new neck on it and new pickups. I'm going to make it. The honest truth is, my dad passed away about 5 years ago, and he actually bought me that guitar when I was in like grade 10. So as a dedication to him, he used to have this gold Dodge Dart, like a 1970 Dodge Dart. But my mom sold it after he passed away. But I was like, in dedication to him, I'm going to redo that guitar in that same color.
Oh, that'll be cool, man. That'd be real cool. Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to see that when you have it done.
Yeah, I just got to get to it.
I understand, man. I feel it. 100%. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
I forgot to mention on The Great Divide, that guitar solo as well. Killer.
Thank you. That was Jeff Cobble, long-haired dude in the video, and he is a very interesting player. I met him playing in a country band, and this is probably 10 years ago. and just random bar in Memphis, and they're playing all this, pretty kicking country music. I'm not a huge country music fan, but he's out there just doing these leads. I'm like, someday I'm going to get that guy in my band. And eventually I was able to snag him, and he did several of the solos on that EP that I put out in 2020, and Great Divide was one of those.
That tone is killer.
Oh, yeah. He has amazing tone. And he's a chicken picker, too. He can do all the chicken picking stuff.
Really?
Then he can do all the metal stuff, but he's got, like, if you've heard my song, it's called Rutherford Drive. It's the first single I put out on, for that record. He did the solo on that, and it's one of the most brilliant solos. It's not even fast or anything. It's just an awesome solo, and it sounds so good.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't have to. I mean, a lot of times you don't have to play fast for it to be a great solo, right?
Yeah.
And I always say the greatest solos, like for instance, Hotel California, is a solo you can sing.
Absolutely, and even Don't Stop Believing. I mean, it's a classic solo.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be complicated, but it ingrains in your head,
Yeah, makes it memorable, right? And I say even some of those Motley Crue, Mick Mars solos, like Home Sweet Home, that's another one that,
Absolutely.
and he got a lot of flack for his playing back in the 80s, but some of those solos are just are epic, right?
Brilliant. Underrated guitar player. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, Zach, looking to 2026, what is on the horizon?
So I've got a couple more songs in the can that I'm hoping we're going to be able to release. I've actually got another song that I wrote 30 years ago, but I did re-record it and put it on the EP, but I haven't released it as a single yet. It's called Don't Give Up. And I'm actually going to remix that again and remaster it and make it just a little bit more beefy. And then we're going to have a video that will come with it at the same time. That'll be a more cinematic kind of video like that I did with Ordinary Girl. So that's the main thing on the agenda for 2026.
Cool. Any shows?
Yeah, I've been trying to do a show about every couple of months or so. I've been doing a few in Florida here lately. So I'm traveling back and forth to Florida. So I've been doing about maybe once a month right now.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to get busy again. I mean, I've been busy with other stuff, so you know how that goes.
Yeah, makes sense. So before I let you go, I want to thank you for joining me today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Not really. I mean, I appreciate you having me back on. It's always great to, talk to you, and I love talking about guitars and things like that. So it's always good. But yeah, just people can find me on all the platforms. Zach Bair Official, ZachBair Official, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I really don't do X that much. I don't do TikTok at all. So
I've never been on either of
those. You will not find me on that, but you can find me on the other stuff and go check my stuff out.
Cool. Now, as for music, I assume, there's YouTube, which is where I found the videos, and most of the streaming sites, I assume.
Yeah, it's on every major streaming platform. I'll probably have a gazillion streams and make $30. I'm excited about that.
Oh,
but it's on all the major streaming platforms. My whole catalog is out there, and we have been pushing it to radio. So if you have a good good rock stations around, encourage them to play that. And, I still think radio has a big part of good music.
I agree.
But yeah, all my stuff's out there on all the streaming platforms, and YouTube's where you go for the videos. Facebook probably has my largest artist platform. And then ZachBairMusic.com, ZachBair music.com is the website.
Awesome. Talking about the radio thing, is there good rock radio in Nashville? Like, is there a rock radio station there?
Yeah, there's a rock radio there. I'm trying to remember the call sign of it, but there's a good rock radio station there. And they actually have new rock, which is pretty unusual. I'm in Memphis most of the time, and we don't have we have a couple of old classic rock stations in Memphis. Yeah. Nashville is much better when it comes to, cutting edge stuff. Even Little Rock, Arkansas has a really good,
cool.
New rock station, so they're out there, and I still like to, when I'm driving through different places, I actually like to go through the radio and find what I can listen to that I like. Tampa's got a couple of really good rock stations that I listen to, so they're out there. Yeah.
That's good. I mean, our rock radio up here is lacking a little bit, unfortunately. It used to be so good. We used to have such great rock radio, but the same companies own everything now.
Absolutely, and they run the same playlist.
Yeah,
It's not nearly as locally controlled as it used to be, and it's a shame. I mean, I still, like I said, I have a high regard for radio, and I think streaming is a bunch of BS. And sooner or later there's going to be a new model that will hopefully put that one to bed. But in the meantime, it's what we got.
Yeah, and it's true. And I know I was going to let you go, but I kind of got on this topic because I think it's important to talk about it, because I would love to see rock radio come back and have that demographic again, because I remember being young and when a single came out, and I used to record it on my tape deck, because you knew you weren't getting it anywhere else and you wanted to keep hearing it unless you heard it again on rotation on the radio.
Exactly.
I wish we could go back to that, because
I do too, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but internet kind of destroyed a lot of things. And back when it was, you hear your song on the radio, and you're actually doing something real. These days, everybody's got some kind of, not everybody, but you can get Pro Tools and go, put AI tracks together and say you're an artist. And that still doesn't mean that you're good. And
that's right.
It's, you know what I mean? And then there's like 98% of it's not very good. And to me, the radio and the record labels would find the 2% of it that is good and that's worthy of actually putting marketing dollars and stuff behind it to make it go. I mean, I'm not saying there's a bunch of music out there that's not good, but I'm just saying there's a glut of it. There's so much content now that how is it that you find, that music is really going to touch somebody?
Yeah, and that's just it. And the honest truth is how I find music now is talking to artists like you.
Oh, cool, man.
You know what I mean? Because you're like, I have Jody Best that I deal with, and
love Jody. She's awesome.
Jody's amazing. And if it wasn't for her, there's a lot of music I would miss out on because I just don't know.
Yeah, I know. There's so much out there. You just can't absorb all of it. It's just like you go to your television set and you can't just get 3 channels now or whatever. You got to have 20 gazillion channels, and you can't watch this show because it's not streaming on that network and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, man, it's ridiculous.
I know. And it's funny, like you go through even on TV through Netflix and it's like, why can't I find anything to watch?
Exactly.
Right? It's like going back to the day of when we used to go to Blockbuster Video and being excited because...
That's great. Yes, exactly.
Right, because I'm like, am I going to find the movie I want to watch, or is it all sold out? Right? It's that... I miss that demographic. I do too. Being excited about our entertainment, not just music, movies, everything, right?
I remember going to the record store to line up to get a release, I mean.
Me too.
Those were great days, man.
Yeah.
Now, it's just not the same.
Or waiting in line for concert tickets.
Absolutely. 100%. Back when they'd be like $15 or whatever. Yeah. Like a big concert, a good concert.
Like 3 bands.
Yeah, exactly. 3 bands.
Right.
The big bands.
Right. And you think the thing was the opener coincided with the headliner, and they put the right packets together, and you'd be excited about both.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, those were the days, man. But who knows? It'll come full circle. I do feel like that rock music is starting to come back around again. There's some good bands out there, and hopefully it'll keep that cycle going.
There's a lot of really great bands, and I will attest to that because, there is a lot of really great music and a lot of non-AI music.
Thank God. Yeah.
Right. Of people that can play, and there's no auto-tune, and they're not using drum machines. They're actually recording.
I hate auto-tune.
I do as well.
And I hate tracks. I don't like it when a band plays to tracks. Just if you're a 4-piece band, go out there and make it happen, man. You don't need a string section behind you.
And it's funny that you mentioned that. Someone just told me about a band that's out touring in Canada, a country band, and he did sound for them, and I believe they had 9 different tracks going. I
got one better than that. So back in this is probably easily 10 years ago, I actually went out to Vegas and was recording the Black Eyed Peas for AEG. And the Black Eyed Peas they had a good sized band. I don't know, it's like probably 15 tracks band stuff. They had like 30 or 40 tracks playing with literally tracks, 40 tracks playing with the band. And only about 15 or 20 that were actual of other tracks were actually music and vocals. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Were they actually they were playing along to it though?
They had a band, yeah. Oh yeah, the band was playing along to it. But then they had all these tracks on top, and they had a 96 channel board. It was ridiculous.
That's crazy. But could you tell? Could you tell?
I could. The audience, who knows? But anybody with a musical ear can tell.
I can't do it.
Like fucking, excuse my French. See like 10 guys. 10 guys on the stage, but you hear all this massive, production behind it. It's like, where are all this? Are they under the stage? Where are they at?
But see, and that's the gray area for me.
Yeah.
Because if you can't do it live, you're not. Yeah. To me, you're not. You are playing live, but you're not playing live.
You're not playing live.
You're fooling people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe in a band that like, okay, we have a bunch of background vocals. Okay, guys, we got to learn these.
Exactly.
We
got 4 guys in the band. Let's all learn the harmonies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And that's how I want. I mean, that's how we grew up listening to most of our bands. They didn't use tracks.
Same.
And
100%.
And sometimes maybe it didn't sound exactly like the album, but it was pretty darn good.
Pretty darn close. Yeah. I mean, there's just, some of these bands out there that are still really good. I mean, like I know, Foreigner is not really the same as it was back in the day, but they're playing with Lee Graham now still. They're doing some shows. But they sound amazing, and they don't have any tracks. Yeah. They're just like 5 guys out there just kicking it. I mean, I love that.
I know, that's what you want. I mean, as fans, as old rock fans, I think, and I shouldn't say old.
Let's not say old. Let's not do that.
No. Let's say, I don't know what to say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, dude, man. We're not gonna say old.
Seasoned. We'll say seasoned. Seasoned listeners.
We're experienced. We can say experienced.
Experience. That's it.
Yeah.
We kind of have a standard of what we want to hear in a live band, and to us that is, that's the way it is. And I mean, I'm a big vinyl guy, so I listen to most of my music on vinyl now. And I mean, I listen to streaming in the car, but there's something. There's nothing. No.
I don't even do that. No. Are you a Rush fan?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
of course.
I mean, that's the epitome of, like, to me, that's the band of all bands. I mean, they're just so phenomenal. And the dude's playing stuff with his feet and everything. I mean, like, holy crap.
Yeah, Taurus pedals and
man, holy crap, man. But yeah, that's my kind of stuff. Yeah.
And I mean, Triumph is. Are you familiar? Yeah. They're going back out on tour.
Are they really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
that gave me chills.
I know, isn't that it's amazing? I mean, Phil X is going to be touring with them.
Well, he's good. Phil X is good.
And they're taking Todd Kearns and Brent Fitz as well. So they're technically going to be
guys. Yeah, I recorded them when they were playing with Slash and the whatever they call it, the Conspirators.
The Conspirators.
100 shows with those guys. Yeah, good dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, I love Todd Kearns is so good. Everything he does is good. I mean, he does that thing with Bruce Kulick, and he does all the Kiss songs, all the Paul Stanley stuff.
I caught a clip of that the other day. I was like, wow, man, that's really cool.
I know, and both those guys are Canadian too, which is
really,
I mean, all those Triumph guys. I mean, Phil X is Canadian too, so.
Really? Okay. Very cool.
Seeing those guys going out with Triumph, it's like, okay, they're not going out as a 3-piece, but I'm okay with who they have because all those guys are amazing. So,
I mean, just amazing. Yeah.
I think they're doing a full-blown North American tour, and I think they're adding more days.
Oh, we have to catch that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Lay It on the Line last year during the NHL playoffs made this huge resurgence because Hockey Night or Sportsnet played it over and over again on one of their commercials, on a Rogers
that's
cable
awesome,
commercial.
man.
Yeah, so it kind of made this resurgence, and apparently it charted again.
Really? That's amazing. I love that. I love that. It's such a great, I mean, they're just a great band. Just a great band.
Yeah. Anyway, Zach, I rambled on and we kept going, but thank you very much.
No, this is great, man. I really enjoyed it, man. I appreciate the chat.
Okay, man. Well, I'm sure we'll get to chat again, and have a great night.
Sounds good. Listen, thank you so much, too.
No problem. Thank you. And you take care.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, man. Take care, brother.
Cheers. Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.